Hello, my name is Athena Trakadas, and I'm a maritime archaeologist and co-chair of the Ocean Decade Heritage Network. Today I'd like to speak to you about a project I conducted in Morocco from 2016 to 2018 called the CBDAM Project, which stands for Capacity Building and Data Acquisition Methods with a view towards promoting natural and cultural heritage management practices in Morocco. So in Morocco, as in other places in the world that have important coastal wetlands, they're not only important for their natural resources, but for their cultural resources, because these wetlands can be the areas where we find submerged settlements, shipwrecks, evidence of harbor installations, and maybe even evidence of past fishing practices. And these sites are very important because of the contact and land-sea interface that they demonstrate historically, but also they can be indicators for sea level rise and for the effects of pollution. So not only what's happened in the past, but they can be helpful as indicators for what will happen in the future. Now in Morocco, as in other places in the world, along the coastal zone, there's a lot of development happening, and these coastal wetlands are at risk. And in Morocco, the deterioration of coastal wetlands is estimated to be affecting 10% of the GDP. And so if the impacts are not studied and assessed within these coastal wetlands, there's going to be not only loss of the cultural identity, the natural resources, but as well as the potential for socioeconomic growth, for sustainable tourism, urban renewal, and general living standards are going to be affected. So the CBDAM project focused on the case study of the Oued Bouregreg, which is between Rabat and Salé in Morocco on the Atlantic coast. And the project addressed data acquisition in marine environments to assess what is happening to these natural and cultural resources. What are the impacts? And within the project, we integrated 4 marine science disciplines. So hydrography, marine geology, marine biology and toxicology, and maritime heritage and cultural heritage management. And these disciplines were combined because the data acquisition tools used in each one are the same. And so by combining them together, the resulting analysis can be shared. The resulting data can be shared. And this is not only multidisciplinary, but also very economical. The project was supported by the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs and was conducted by myself at the University of Southern Denmark at the time, and my colleague Nadia Mohamdi, who was at the Scientific Institute of University Mohammed Sank in Rabat. Now the challenges for us were that environmental and cultural heritage preservation policies in Morocco require impact assessment studies and management plans, but these usually are desk-based, and because of that, they might be very generalized or be based on data that's not up to date. This is especially problematic because there might also be a lack of expertise and knowledge and using the tools that could be used to undertake assessments within marine environments. So additionally, there's also the silo effect in Morocco where academic institutions and governmental ministries might require the same data from a coastal wetland, but for different purposes. And these data are not shared across ministries or sometimes even within ministries. And cultural agencies are often not even considered as legitimate users of such scientific data. So resultantly, academic institutions might be also conducting surveys at these sites, but they're not aware maybe of the issues or the questions that are being handled by the ministries. So these scenarios result in unnecessarily repetition of studies, and it's not cost effective. So this is why the CBDAM project is focusing on a multidisciplinary project to try and do all these studies together and inform each discipline the advantage of working together. The CBDAM project focused on developing capacity at university and governmental participants as they will be designing and carrying out management plans and the studies that inform these. So The project was designed to have this kind of sustainability because after its conclusion, the equipment and software vital to carrying out the data acquisition and processing would permanently reside in Morocco. There was a detailed training curriculum that was in place and an easily implemented methodology for assessment of studies. They were all designed by the project participants specifically to address the situation in Morocco. The project uniquely integrated 4 academic disciplines focused on the marine environment to address natural and cultural heritage management issues. In developing a multidisciplinary methodology, it became clear that the same data can be applied repeatedly and in different disciplines. So, for example, sub-bottom profiles used by marine geologists to identify modern and historical sediment deposits in storm events within the wetland can be used by marine archaeologists to identify buried structures such as shipwrecks and harbor installations. The transport and dispersal of waterborne pollutants that are identified within marine biology and toxicology studies can assist marine geologists in understanding sediment deposition processes and wetland cycles. These data in turn can provide a basis for maritime archaeologists to identify the chemical and bacterial threats and their effects on submerged cultural remains. In all these studies, it's hydrography that links us together because it's playing a key role by establishing the technical means by which the data are acquired. So the CPDAM project aims to promote sustainability. And first, the inclusion of PhD and MA students and educators in marine sciences in all aspects of the project was important, as well as the development of a training curricula designed by them. And this has ensured that a new generation of scholars continues to expand their skill sets with a possible multiplier effect. Such capacity building is essential globally for also ensuring best practices. Second, the project's resulting interdisciplinary methodology was developed with scalability and transferability as a requirement. So it's applicable not only to the wetlands we are working in the Wedburig Rig, but to the almost 50 coastal wetland zones identified at risk in Morocco. In this sense, the CPDAM project's methodology can also serve as a template to be implemented in future impact assessment and mitigation projects in similar marine environments globally. Thank you.